community. It's like you got people from different countries who have tax benefits that actually come here and really take advantage of the opportunity that's presented for them. And mostly the blacks, they stay in the same wretched condition. It's been like that for years.
On this warm evening, the streets heat up. Gunfire across the city of Chicago tonight. At last count, we know of nearly a dozen people shot.
If a nigga shoot at you, shoot you, graze you, or shoot you home, what you gonna do? Say, put the gun down? And if he come back again, double back and do the same thing, you can stop 20%, but you damn sure don't stop 100.
Right, yeah, it's all
We have to come together as a city, as a society, and say, you know, what really is stimulating all this violence, and let's get at it. And I think there's no way to avoid the answer, at least in large part, being this war on drugs. Total failure.
Right. Y'all kids gotta wake up. The attack is on y'all. The attack is on y'all.
Terrible. I think it's sad. I think our kids don't have enough to do. I think they're looking up to GBE, Lori Boy Entertainment, and stuff like that. While I'm okay with, you know, them getting their money, get your money, and they getting it legally, I don't have no problem with that. Right. But at least while you're getting your money, teach little kids how to get their money too. Because right now, they doing what you rapping about.
Satanic stuff out here looking cool to do. I mean, how many of y'all really want to stand up for what y'all believe? I see a lot of followers, but I don't see no leaders. Majority of the time, I see people rapping, they just saying what somebody else gonna say. Monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. But I'm saying, when I was coming up in school, you know, the best thing to be was something somebody else wasn't.
Question I wanted to ask you, how do you go ahead and deal with a kid that comes to your camp, your football camp, they don't have the structure of, like, the parents not there and dealing with the influence of the community? How do you deal with that and, you know, keep them focused dealing with something other than that BS?
Well, me personally, you know, I'm kind of household. I go household to household. Me and Dre, we also go follow our kids, not just what we doing here, but whatever sport they participate in, we be a part.
So you act like a mentor, like a big brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've actually had custody of one of my kids. They came through my football program because he had nowhere else to go.
They got it now, where if you go to vote, they can tell you stop before you vote. I want to swab you, or I think you might have to do a drug test in order for you to vote.
That's right. Because my mentality is mine, the nigga selling drugs or getting it from the street. You don't need no laws from the street. We ain't got no taxes. We ain't got no government. So that's the mentality.
I think we have to intervene soon. You know, I mean, you got the kids that are there now, but the opportunity is really intervening sooner, so that, you know, when they are inundated with that kind of rhetoric, with the culture, that they're able to begin to sooner filter and decide and make choices.
Father, it's a lack of men in the homes raising these kids. Everybody you see down in the street look like you and me. That's who doing the killing, that's who out here dying, that's who... It starts with fathers, man. At a certain age, you all know, everybody know if they was raised by their mom. At a certain, like 12, 13, you wasn't fearing mom no more. Right. You wasn't fearing her. She told you couldn't do something, you still did it. Right. You found a way to do it. If dad told your ass you couldn't do something, you thought twice about it. Right.
Now what if it was a panel set up with all the heads of the organizations of Chicago, the Jeff Ford, Larry Hoopers, Vice Lords, to really reach out and talk to the kids and let them know that, look, man, they ain't about that. Because that ain't going on inside the joint. Right. You ain't seeing the Vice Lords and the GDs going at each other like that.
No, they ain't.
It's not even happening.
It ain't happening. They don't really have to get in there.
So what if it was a panel set up where these guys can actually speak to these?
The thing is this, what we doing now is a part of a panel. That's right. By information. Jeff Ford then wrote letters to his followers. Larry Hoover wrote letters to his followers. Those that want to do right. Larry Hoover ain't about gangster disciples. It's about growth and development. Okay, that's a very important point. So all you gangster disciples, y'all need to stop putting Larry Hoover's name in your mouth.
Right. And a level of respect to the strength of whatever we did, the neighbors were safe. You know, if we didn't just do it so blatantly. If Miss Johnson came down the street, put that up. Here come Miss Johnson. Right. How you doing, Miss Johnson? Yeah. She knew what we were doing.
It's all about your way out is maybe a singer, a rapper, or some type of ball player. But that only gets you so far. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's too much emphasis being put on that and not enough on education.
Keeping up with this same pattern is not working. It's not working. And it is, as you said, costing so much money. So I think we need to look at housing. We need to look at jobs. We need to look at education. And, you know, some may say, oh, you know, that's the, you know, the liberals say, you know, it's nobody's fault. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, though, in part, it is our fault for failing to really provide answers and instead just having this perpetuation of more and more incarceration, more and more marginalization, destroying families, destroying communities.
Right.
They can have those same factories at halfway house here, halfway house there, same thing.
Should be proposed and drafted in a, you know, in a way that is something that could be done. Or at least an idea. It's an idea that can be built upon. Is listen, man. Because we have a problem, man. These guys can't find no jobs. Okay, man, the contracts is there. Them jobs. They got everybody working in a prison. Give them a job on the outside. Yeah. In the halfway house. Yeah. Build these same institutions and have them in the halfway houses where guys can work there, you know what I'm saying, as long as they want or whatever for a time period. Right. The money is there.
And I think also children need to know purpose. Like there needs to be those after school programs. There needs to be more education. Kids need to feel like they're important, like they're loved. And if they don't get that in the home, it should be in the schooling systems. Right. That's what I think.
Right now.
Is making sure that those individuals who I pay taxes for, who are elected officials, do the job.
What it succeeded in doing, building more prisons,
right,
incarcerating generations of African American men in our country, destabilizing families as a consequence.
Right. So what do you think, okay, a good approach would be to try to curb the problem?
Okay.
You know, let's take away the incarceration. That's failed us. We're spending so much money, allocating so much money towards the prison system, and it's still the same situation. So what do you suggest, what you think, in your opinion, about what we can do?
Educate the youth to, you know, either teach them to have protected sex or to have other goals or other purposes in life. Because when children are having children, you're not going to be a good parent. You're not emotionally mature. You're not ready. And then that just creates a fucking cycle, round and round and round again.
Spraying out. This is one of multiple scenes here where guns were firing. And it did, in fact, take down 3 people. Those 3 folks all shot.
The master came from the slave. Talk to me somebody. The change that matters always come bottom up. Never. The slave masters retire. Change comes when you're a slave on their press. Change their mind. They cannot make up their mind unless they meet.
August 28th, y'all heard it here. Ain't no joke. And Mr. J said he heard that man say it's big. And Mr. J, I'm glad you working for it, bro.
That's real.
I know.
If it's open, we in.
You got it, my man. I'm me and you. My man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Brother Gator.
They took the control from the family to saying that, listen, beating your kids is wrong. That's a key issue. That is true. That's right. It's abuse. You know, you was feared to get your ass whooped. That's a key issue. At the school by Mr. Holmes. Yeah, with the paddle. I got the paddle. Or you was feared that if you had a father at home, boy,
black business that employ over 100 people in Chicago. Not one. Name me one.
and a motherfucker getting those checks to raise a family off of. Can't name me one, probably can't name me one in America, G. That got one building that got 100 employees in it, and it's black owned from rooter to the tooth. Name me one.
I can't. Our community is that people who become politicians don't love the hood that they being a politician.
That's right. That's right.
The people who live there don't love it, man. I was in the hood, and I'm looking at people walk around, man, and it's brownstones, beautiful buildings. We right by the lake on the low end, and I'm like, this community really rivals any community in the world, except for how we feel about the community we live in. So then white folks come in and gentrify it, and they love it, and it look totally different. They got a new vibe. If we don't start loving our hood, loving each other, loving ourselves, loving the jobs that we have to do, loving the work that we do, this documentary you doing, you got to put love in this, or it ain't gonna come to light.